which wrestlers have the best in-ring gear right now? Current day, recording this on February 6th, a little bit after Royal Rumble. I got a tier list here. We're gonna go S, A, B, C, D, kind of ranking everyone's in-ring. And just to note, I know it's clear, but just to note, this is everyone's what they're wrestling in. So it's not including what they're coming down to the ring in. If they got a cool jacket, they come into the ring and they take it off before they start wrestling, doesn't count. Not for this video. I feel like I came in pretty aggressively at the start of this video. Welcome back. Hi, hello. Please make sure you subscribe before we get started. Please leave your likes, leave your comments. Let me know in the comments who you think maybe got snubbed or who you think has the current best in-ring attire. I'm sure I didn't get everyone in this. There's 25 people, but I'm sure there's people that got left out. All right, without further ado, we're starting off here. Haven't seen her in a while, but still wanted to counter because she is elite in terms of in-ring swag. Asuka. Again, this is as modern as we can be. And honestly, as much as I said, like, you know, Jack and stuff doesn't count, you know what does count, I think? Face paint. And we're going with the assumption that Asuka's including the cool, evil, crazy clown face paint. First of all, that's sick. We'll get that out of the way. The gear, though, simple yet effective. I really like the different kind of color combinations and patterns she busts out. It's definitely up there. I don't know if it's S. She definitely has some like creative inspiration, you know, especially during a big PLE. She always kind of busts out something crazy. Day-to-day in ring, she's one of the best. I think because like she's so consistently good that it seems like, you know, because we don't see, she's always so consistently up here that she doesn't need to like jump up here. Does that make sense? Anyway, Asuka could be an S. We're going to start with Asuka at an A. All right, next one, Cody Rhodes. A couple of iterations we can take into consideration here. One, the Royal Rumble fit with the white, gold, and red was brand new. Haven't seen anything like that before. I think that's awesome. My personal favorite, I think, is the navy blue. It's just like a darker shade of blue than he usually does, right? Then you kind of have the standard Cody one, which is like the more balanced red, white, and blue. I love it. I think it's very classic. I like that the waist kind of, I don't know if it goes over his belly button or not, but it's definitely a higher waist, which again, feels very classic. It feels like he's paying homage to like back in the day wrestlers, you know? I really like Cody's. He might be an S. I think Cody's gonna be our first S. We're not being, if it's an all-timer, if it's great, if it works, we're not gonna be like too critical and be like, well, it didn't, you know what I mean? I think Cody's an easy yes. You know who I also think is an easy yes, not to jump the gun. The next one is Dominic Mysterio. Easiest S I'm gonna give all day, to be honest with you. This video was inspired by two people. It was Dominic Mysterio and then Julia. And we'll get to Julia later. Spoiler, I think we know where she's gonna go. But Dominic Mysterio's is so good. I honestly think it's underrated, underappreciated. I really like the sort of Western spin on like classic lucha stuff with like sort of Halloween Havoc reference with the top a lot of the times and the fringe on the cowboy boots, kind of like meshing the two together. It's another example, like simple yet effective. He uses like the black and the purple really well to kind of make the whole thing a statement. You know, does that make sense? Is any of this I'm saying making sense? It makes sense in my brain. Again, I think his is one of the best. A lot of it is the boot tassels really do it for me. All right, next we're going with Pops. We're going Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio in the year of 2025 is a solid B. I love the color combinations. Some are admittedly better than others. And again, looking at February 2025, he ditched the mohawk. He ditched like the weird like overall straps, whatever, and he's back to just like regular no mohawk mask, and he does the tights now, which I think is a really good look with kind of the big boots. Rey's a solid B. All right, next one, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is tough because we have to kind of think about her in a different way because she always has so much variation to her outfits, like in terms of colors and patterns. And, you know, for instance, when, I forget which match it was, I think it was during the US tournament. It was probably the US title match. Her ring gear had like her face all over it, and now she kind of goes a little bit like Statue of Liberty sort of vibe. With that said, though, because of the creativity, it's an A. I think Chelsea's A for creativity, for sure. She knocks it out of the park every time. Is everyone just going to be an S or an A? No, I think we have some like okay ones. I don't know. I'm not sure. We have haters coming up though. All right, next one is Julia. Julia inspired this because I was watching NXT and I was looking at her gear, and it's so, again, simple yet effective. It's pretty standard modern day women's gear, but I really like the colorways she chooses, This photo I'm using for reference, if I have it on the screen, it's the best photo I could find of her entire ring gear, but like she's holding every single NXT belt. I don't know where this came from. Well, it came from this person who watermarked it, I guess. Anyway, the real reason she got on here, because I really like the I don't know what you'd call it, like the fur or almost like the tails that she kind of has like hanging down. Again, very just like, I don't even know what to relate it to. I think it just It just looks cool. Now, obviously, I did say tail, and I don't think it's leaning furry. I really don't, but I'm just kind of saying the elephant in the room now that I'm thinking about it. I probably shouldn't use the word tail. Maybe tail was wrong. Then I'm gonna put Julia in S, and now I put furries, and we're moving on. We're getting too much in the weeds here. Julia S. I don't care, and it's not for the reason you leave her alone. Leave her alone with the fur tails hanging off. It's fine. It's fine. All right, getting out of that mess that I fell into, we got Kevin Owens next. This might be ranked higher than you think. Again, I think there's different, I don't know if the term is like spectrums or ways you can look at it. You can go flashy, like, Cody when he pulls out the gold, or like, Dom and Asuka kind of have a lot to theirs. Or you can go on the other side here with Kevin Owens, who's what I think about when I see Kevin Owens, especially something like this one, is just classic hardcore ECW. It's a cool look. It's very simple, but it's so effective for him. I think it's an A. It really is an A. All right, next one up. This is the best photo I can find. I know it is him getting pile driven. I don't know what the word would be, into the mat by Kevin, but it shows upside down. It shows his whole ring gear. It's fine. It's nothing spectacular. I think we need to start putting ones under B, I do really like the style of boots. They're really kind of high, like really, I mean, look how many eyelets there are. That's crazy. The black and white, nothing really else. I think this has stars on it. This one specifically has white stars. I'm sure sometimes it says something else. I'm sure at one time it said honorary Uso or whatever. It's fine. It's simple. It's nothing crazy. But in a video that's talking about the best gear, it sits at C or a D. My gut doesn't say D, so I think we're gonna go C. It's fine. Could it get moved down? We'll see. All right, next one, Seth Rollins. Seth's is solid. I think this is another kind of perfect middle of the road where he is always consistent. The colors are always really cool, but what honestly overshadows his in-ring gear is how good his fits are on TV when he's doing a promo, or if he's coming out to the ring with whatever crazy jacket he has on. I think that oftentimes overshadows it. And should we be taking that into consideration? Not necessarily, but I think that's more of the point of Seth Rollins when you're talking about like gear or fits or whatever, is kind of that side of it. The in-ring gear always looks great. It's nothing like, it's very, it's similar to Rey Mysterio's, how the colors are always great and X, Y, and Z. So I think he goes right next to Rey at B. All right, next up is Damian Priest. And as a retired Damian Priest hater, a self-aware retired former Damian Priest hater, I don't love his in-ring gear. It does match like perfectly with his gimmick. He does kind of lean the goth thing, especially, having him paired up with Rhea in the Judgment Day for so long, and then doing the towers. I wasn't going to say what you thought. I thought it, but I wasn't going to say, what was their Terror Twins? Never mind. Anyway, when I see this, I kind of immediately think gimp suit. It might be our first D. Honestly, also someone needs to fill the D spot. D for Damien. The all leather sort of gimp suit is a little too much tight leather for me, is all I'll say. All right, next up, Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly. All right, this might be controversial. I like it. I know they're supposed to be like theater kids, and some of it is supposed to be so over the top that maybe it's like in your face or annoys people. Not for me. I love it. I think it's great. I love the fact that they have made a crop top the most you could possibly historically crop it. Like, I think they hold the record for the highest crop shirts. It's great. Is it A? Not necessarily, because like at the end of the day, like besides the cropped look, it's creative, it's new, but everything else is still pretty standard. So I think that's another B. It's a high B that sniffs A. Yes, boy. All right, next is Rhea Ripley. I don't want to use the word dominatrix. This video is getting wild, dude. The inclusion of the all black and the choker and the chains and the fishnets and everything. Her in-ring gear is so solid. It's so cool. It's so sleek. Simple yet effective. Another case of simple yet effective, and you lean on that kind of like goth sort of thing that I think Damien just kind of, I don't know. I just don't think Damien nailed a similar aesthetic that Rhea is going for and nailing, With that said, I do think it's B, though. It's nothing like crazy over the top. But again, it's another B that sniffs A. We're gonna go A. Fuck it, we're gonna go A. All right, next up, unfortunately, not your 2025 Royal Rumble winner, Cero Miedo. Was that lame? I hope that didn't come off lame. We got Penta, folks. We got Penta. You might have guessed. You might have guessed, Penta's an easy S, dude. From the all blue look that he had in the Rumble to this past week on Raw, I think it was way more of just like the black, white, and red with a lot of the red accents. It's sick. His mask is unreal. The face paint with the white on the chin. Everything about it is really cool. It's all so well put together and everything matches with each other. It all meshes well. Easy S. Don't need to say much more about it. All right, Io Sky, welcome to bat. I do apologize for the picture used. I didn't spend that much time on Google, so I'm sure there was another one. But this is the best one I could find of kind of getting the whole whatever. Bear with me. Io's is solid. It feels like a B. I like the added creativity of like the fur. She does come out with a lot of different creative patterns and colorways. You know, it's something that I've said about a lot of people, but you know, at the end of the day, there is also so much you can do with some pretty standard wrestling gear unless you go like super crazy with it. But Io's is great. Sometimes she kind of busts out different variations of it, but it's always solid. I don't think she has any misses, but it's a solid B. All right, next up is the newly heels New Day's new attire, the real kind of overhaul aesthetically of the New Day. I like it. It keeps like similar like blues and purples that they had in their old stuff, but like really masking it with more like dark purples and a lot of the black integrated like on this is like the first time really looking at it like in depth, but like the almost Majin Buu M on kind of the waist there, the dark unicorns, like the red eyes and they're more like badass and angry. It's a really good flip on everything they were doing before, but just making it dark and evil and you know, whatever. I will say though, minus a little bit of points for Kofi shaving the mustache part of his beard and just rocking the beard, no mustache. Wild move. That's going to land you at B for sure. All right, one's up. We're chatting about Roman Reigns. I feel like Roman Reigns' attire has been like a topic of discussion for so long, especially because he was like hanging on to the Shield look for so long. He was the last one to ditch like the vest. In some ways, I do like that he's still like reminiscent of it with the black cargos and the boots. I had a similar critique when it was the video I was just like talking who's the best dressed wrestler right now. For this guy being on top and him just coming out in a hoodie and sweatpants, I just didn't love it. I think it could be elevated a little bit, and it's a similar sentiment I have with just like the black cargos and the boots. I don't know. I just feel like Tribal Chief. I love the Ula Fala he has. I think that adds so much. The red in the gloves helps a lot. Him just being shredded to fucking hell, I guess also helps the look. I feel like there could be more. The black cargos are effective in their simplicity, but you know, again, in terms of a video that's best in-ring attire, it's average. I'm tempted to put it at D. At least Sami Zayn's has stars on his, so I'm going Roman D. I don't know if I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for that, but that's how I feel. All right, next, your United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura. This one's pretty cut and dry. I like this a million times better than what he did have with like the weird onesie jumpsuit sort of thing that was like half zipped up. Hated that. My favorite look is his NXT look and early WWE main roster look, with just like the black with like the black tights, the black pants with a little bit of red. I think he had like a red belt or something. I don't know. This is cool though. It's more like the wide-legged pant. I like the top. This is all very cool. I think it's a sneaky A. All right, next up, nothing too crazy. We have Andrade. I don't know why this picture I used just from a tweet. Not sure. This is what he wore at the Royal Rumble. I like the white. It's simple with the black belt. I think it's just C. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I don't have too much more to say about it. I like it, but it's C. All right, next up, one of the most underrated women's wrestlers of all time, Zelina Vega. What I appreciate about Zelina Vega's in-ring gear, a lot of it is always so on theme. It's either like a reference to something, be it a movie or a video game, or it's like in reference to where they are, where the event is, or what kind of event it is. And then the in-ring gear, color-wise and style-wise, always does match that. I think that's great. I think that adds a lot to it. That's going to be... We're going to go B, but it's a damn strong B. I'm tempted to put it in A. We'll go B. We'll stick with B. All right, Maxine Dupree, and this picture has I never noticed this during the Rumble. This person in the background has a AJ Lee Marry Me sign. Crazy. Actually an insane sign to bring to the Rumble. Back to Maxine though. I love this. It's very, at the time, Chad Gable inspired, which like kayfabe, you probably wouldn't say that, but little Chad Gable inspired definitely fits in with, her. I would even say she's kind of leader of Alpha Academy now. It's very Olympic wrestling. It's very gym bro. She even has the straps. She did it in the Rumble so she can like put down the straps and kind of like, amp herself up. I love it. I think it's great. I honestly think it's A. I really do. It's classic wrestling, but also like so new and unique. All right, next up, CM Punk. Again, I couldn't find like a super recent one that had the trunks and the boots, but like his boots are probably top 5 in wrestling history. His boots are great. I really like how just like bulky they are. They always have like the stars on it with the Chicago reference. Really cool. Also just love the Bret Hart pink when he brings that out. It's solid. Again, I mean, I'm tempted because it is just trunks and boots. The hand tape with the X's does add to it. I don't know. My gut says A. My gut says A, so we're going A. All right, next, Braun Breaker in the singlet. If we're talking classic wrestling, we're talking about paying homage. This is great. The addition of all, like, I think he probably has like dog stuff on it, badass on the front. It's so just like early 2000s, you know, like it says, badass. This is S. I thought I was going to put it A. Braun Breaker gets an S. I'm pausing here to kind of look at, you know, what we're doing to kind of adjust some things. I think I'm going to bump Asuka to A. She was the first one. It was really hard to judge the first one. Kevin, I think, is solid at A. Rhea could be bumped up to S. Fuck it. I'm feeling it in my heart. Rhea, S. I like this S squad. Okay, last 3. Bianca Belair. This is a similar case to like a Seth Rollins where I think her not in-ring performance gear, either her way down to the ring or like when she just like fitted up in a promo, definitely beats her in-ring gear. But a lot of people kind of reference this as the Zack Ryder gear. Chelsea also did this too. I love it. I love that she always matches who she's with, who her tag team partner is. The colors are always cool. I think like the lips kind of being her logo and that being on the tights is very, first of all, it's very her, but it's also maybe like 90s Shawn Michaels. Bianca gets an A. All right, next up, Big Bronson Reed. I'm torn here because he kills it in terms of like designs and colorways, and I loved the MF Doom inspired gear. But I don't know, I think my personal preference is I just kind of like the Braun Breaker style where the legs go down a little bit instead of like the one piece. Kind of sounds like I'm talking about like a woman's bathing suit. Like the one piece of it stopping kind of at like how the trunks are, you know? So I think I'm going to put Bronson Reed with C. All right, last one of the day. We got Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan's is great. I don't think it's any higher than a B, but like this specifically, obviously Saturday night's main event, shout out Charles Robinson. I love the references to Dom and just kind of being obsessed with Dom. And, you know, I'm sure maybe as the story progresses, we'll see that kind of, you know, fluctuate. But you have the tassels in the top, you have like the dirty Dom tee. It's solid. It's always very consistent. So I think that puts her at B. All right, folks, there you have it. Those are some of 25 to be exact, some of the best in-ring gears in WWE today. Let me know who I missed. Let me know if there's more people to do a part 2 in. Let me know who got snubbed, who you'd put higher, who you put lower. Before we get out of here, please, well, first of all, thank you for being here. I gotta say thank you first. Please make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. And yeah, if you're all caught up, go check out some Stash Club stuff. Bye. Goodbye. That's the video. Bye. Thanks for being here. Bye.